when a teenager's own home becomes a scene of something unthinkable. No one expected what was waiting for them behind her closed bedroom door. This is the murder case of Intan Suraya Marwadi. Hello you guys and welcome to the GMC channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I am Esther Vincent, also known as Leah Mia on social media. If you guys are sticking around until the end, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, comment, share it with others, this video of course. And if you have not done so, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It will really help the channel grow, help me to make more, and let's get into today's crime. Intan Suraya Marwadi was an ordinary Malaysian teenager. She was just 17 years old, a Form 5 student at SMK Teluk Kumbar, Penang. She was nearing the end of her secondary school journey and she was just days away from the crucial SPM examination, our Malaysian public exam. She lived with her family at Block 5 flat Bandar Baru Perda, Teluk Kumbar, Penang, a quiet residential area where neighbors know each other and safety was assumed. 25th of October 2015, 7:30 a.m. early in the morning, the day started off as any other day. Intan is alone at home. Her parents are not present. Her mother and her other family members, they are all away at their grandma's house, meaning Intan would be spending most of that day alone by herself. Police later believed that the suspect entered into Intan's house early in the morning, anywhere between 6 to 7 a.m., and remained in the house for hours. No neighbors reported of anything unusual that morning. No shouting, no calls for help, nothing that would immediately alert anyone of any danger. Now, 7:30 p.m. and evening returns. Intan's father returned home at around 7:30 p.m., exhausted from work, calling onto his daughter so that they can catch up on each other's day. He calls her name again and again as he stepped into their home. Intan, oh Intan. That's how a lot of Malaysians call their children. But there was no reply. Wondering what she was up to, he stepped towards her bedroom. The bedroom door slightly ajar and the room was silent. Her bed looked like it's perfectly made with a blanket drawn neatly as if though she was just sleeping. But something felt really off. He approaches slowly, calling out for her name again, louder this time, but still nothing. By now, he was already sweating. Slowly, he reaches out and tugs the blanket back. There, a chilling sight, blood everywhere, and his daughter only half dressed and motionless. Her throat had been slashed open in the most vicious way imaginable. His scream was unheard of, swollen in grief. The authorities and paramedics were called, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Imagine standing at the doorway, the shock of seeing your eldest daughter in such a situation. Her bed where she should have been peacefully sleeping, blood-soaked sheets, her bolster stained with her blood now in your living room, and the house eerily still. Police said that there was definitely some sort of struggle between the victim and the suspect, and at the very beginning, police could not find any signs of forced entry into the house, which raised the question about how the killer might have got in. The only clue, a sense that the victim may have known the assailant. It was a scene that turned a quiet Sunday evening into a nightmare for her father, her family, and the entire community. Very quickly, the police were on the case. The same day, the police officers detained a man named Tarmizi Yaakob, 20-year-old security guard at the Teluk Kumbar area not long after the murder of Intan Suraya was discovered. Police will later come to know that the suspect, the guy that they have just detained, he knew Intan Suraya pretty well and they were introduced to each other through mutual friends. Neighbors also reported that they have seen Tarmizi in their flat vicinity pretty frequently, waiting or trying to talk or disturbing the victim. On the night of the incident, He even went to Intan's family home, sobbing over the death of his supposed girlfriend. Her family had no idea of this. He then asks permission from the family to check on Intan's bedroom, but they refused, fearing that it would interfere with the ongoing investigation. Creepy. Investigations would reveal that the suspect did not force his way into the house but used a duplicate key that he had of the house to enter into Intan's flat early that morning. Police would recover two knives wrapped in a cloth with bloodstain believed to be of the victim. The suspect would also tell the police later that he had used those knives. He also pointed the investigators to where one of them was discarded near to his workplace. Police would also find Intan's cell phone, which was discarded near the suspect's workplace as well, just in another area. Forensic investigation would also confirm that Intan was indeed. These details made it clear that this was not some random act of violence, but it was calculated. It was premeditated. Now, coming to Tarmizi Yaqub, the suspect's background. The investigators discovered that before this crime, Tarmizi had a small drug possession offense which he was not charged or convicted, and a prior arrest for possession of tools suspected for housebreaking, but no charges were laid due to insufficient evidence. Despite his past brush-ins with the law, he was working as a security guard in a primary school in the same vicinity. Like, guys, Tarmizi was officially arrested in Teluk Kumbar just hours after Intan's body was found. According to police statement, just a short while after his arrest as a suspect, Tarmizi went on to confessing that he had slashed Intan's throat. He told the investigators that he acted out of jealousy, believing that Intan had another boyfriend despite being in a relationship with him. Like, dude, are you for real? Because she's just 17 years old. At that age, nothing is even real. Like these relationships, like this confession combined with the physical evidence like the knife, the cell phone, the duplicate key gave the police a strong case. After the arrest, police successfully obtained a 7-day extension on the suspect's remand to complete their investigation. On the 6th of November 2015, the suspect Tarmizi Yaqub, who was just 20 years old, was formally charged with murder under Section 302 of the Malaysian Penal Code, which carries the mandatory death penalty if convicted. At court, he had no lawyer. He did not enter a plea deal. The charge stated that the murder took place anywhere from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. on 25th of October at Intan's flat in Jalan Teluk Kumbar. The case was set for mention again on 13th January as it moved from police investigation to court proceedings. After years in the legal system, the case finally came to an end. In 2019, the Georgetown High Court found Tarmizi Yaqub guilty of murdering Intan Suraya Marwadi. He was also convicted of her, and under Malaysian law at that time, the court imposed the mandatory death sentence for murder along with 15 years in prison and 3 strokes of the cane for the. In 2021, the Court of Appeal upheld both the conviction and the sentence, but in December of 2023, the case took its final turn. After Malaysia abolished the mandatory death penalty, the federal court reviewed the sentence and his death sentence was reduced to 33 years in prison and 12 strokes of the cane, backdating to his arrest in 2015. Yeah. But his conviction for and its sentencing, that didn't change. This case shocked the entire community of Teluk Kumbar and the rest of Penang, if you ask me. A 17-year-old young girl was brutally violated and horribly murdered in her own home. a place that was meant to be the safest. Intan's friends and classmates remembered her as a bright, kind teenager with her whole future ahead of her. Why it happened may never be fully known, but one thing is for certain. A young life was taken away too soon, and a family was left forever broken. If you want more deep dives into real cases just like this, then hit the subscribe button. That will really help the channel grow further, will encourage me to make more. And if you guys are still here till this very moment, don't forget to leave me a like, maybe a comment, share it with your friends. And I will see you guys again soon on my next video, hopefully. Until then, take care, stay safe out there, and I will see you soon. Bye.